One of my pastimes has become what I call water gifting. By putting Orgonite in the water, we are actually distributing it over a whole region. That's what also brought us to do our Mozambique trip, our recent one. And the main idea was to gift the Caorabassa Lake by boat. And I was suddenly surrounded by gun-yielding, screaming soldiers. I showed them the stuff again, I said, we call it Orgonite, you can actually buy it on my website, and so on and so on. But somehow they ignored that whole stuff, they were kind of as if they were hell-bound on finding this suspicious. Then we found ourselves in prison. Orgonite is a powerful tool in the hand of everybody to reverse some of the worst developments that we've seen in the last 50 years, turning the whole world into pretty much a madhouse and eventually into a desert. We are using simple muffin pans to make these so-called tower busters, and the tower buster is the universal ammunition, so to say, that we are using. If you put it near a cell phone tower, you will see that this cell phone tower that is creating a stagnant energy field turns into a positive energy radiator. What we are trying to do is to cover an as large as possible part of Africa with Orgonite in such a way that at least the basic protection against large-scale weather manipulation is guaranteed. When we talk about HARP, we mean the technology of electromagnetic weather and mind manipulation, which can be perpetrated through our ordinary cell phone network. I have spoken to people who claim to have been mercenaries, soldiers of the secret New World Order army and so on, who have told me that they were in subterranean control rooms where they play with the weather and so on and so on. And using basically an overlay of our existing cell phone network, which is a perfect camouflage because everybody is keen on cell phones, everybody accepts their cell phone tower in the neighborhood. The work that we've been doing in southern Africa has basically been done by Friederike and myself, and a group of 10 people can turn a whole country around. Our lives have been interrupted for 2 months. We've been put under enormous strain and stress, and our families have been scared to death. Our names have been publicly associated with horrible crimes. I believe that it's my activity as published under OrgoniseAfrica.com that is what they want to stop. I embark on this kind of almost Don Quixote-like fight against bad energy. So I've got frequent attacks of asking myself, am I crazy? So what you want is confirmation, obviously. You want to see that this stuff is actually doing something. One of the sources of confirmation is visual. The other source is actually large weather changes. And that's what we feel is actually happening as we speak. We actually feel those changes. The way our case was pursued and the kind of untypical and unnormal sustained aggression against us makes me feel this is not the normal way Mozambique would have handled that. I see the world run by a pretty evil gang of gangsters that operates through the legitimate structures of government. If this force exists, it wouldn't want to acknowledge that it exists, right? So it cannot strike us openly and say these guys are disabling our mind control, because officially mind control doesn't exist, of course.